You mentioned Neil Katyal joins us, former acting Solicitor General of the United States. Neil, your impressions of what we've all been sitting here witnessing?
Well, I agree it's a work in progress, but it is explosive. Because remember who this guy Sondland is. He's Trump's guy, and he was the one who Trump pointed to say, this is the guy I want to testify. He's going to exonerate me. He wrote this text message which says there's no quid pro quo. And we learned today when we read the statement that basically Sondland is pointing the fingers at Trump, saying that he was following orders from the president directed through Giuliani. And he further confirmed that there was a quid pro quo, which was exactly the red line that Lindsey Graham drew a month ago when he said, well, if there's a quid pro quo, that's different. Otherwise, there's nothing here. So I think those two things are significant on the substance of what he said. And then the last thing I'd point out is there's something on the process, because Ambassador Sondland said over and over again, this isn't fair. I don't get my emails. I don't get access to documents and so on. So he's not just helping the Democrats' case substantively. He's helping it procedurally. And we saw Adam Schiff come out and say that to the cameras and say, this is obstruction of justice. They should have these folks testify. You know, Bolton, Pompeo, so on and so on. There should be these documents out there. If they don't, it's just like Article 3 of the Nixon impeachment, which was obstruction of justice for not producing this. If these guys, if Trump did nothing wrong, these people should come and testify. Otherwise, at least those who are currently still in office have got to resign. I mean, it is inappropriate for these people to be at the center of the investigation and not even bother to come to the Congress of the United States in one of the most consequential hearings of our lifetime.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.